Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So I thought it would be fun to do an art tour of my digital art, and I'm going to look at everything that I've done ever. So I want to say all of these I've made videos on my YouTube channel, but I think it'll be fun to kind of take a walk down memory lane. So we're actually going to start in 2025. So these will all be recent, and then we're going to go backwards. So obviously here is the Alien Art Challenge from my friend Criselda. And then, as you know, I've been doing the coloring pages for Doodle.com. And then this was the very first drawing I did on Doodle.com. And I know, like, I'm filming this on my phone, so you're gonna see a lot of those weird little lines from the computer, but I don't know, this just seemed like the more like relaxed way of recording. So yeah, just I guess bear with it. Y'all know, if you are subscribed to me, I'm not a professional YouTuber in any sense of the word. Like, your girl does not take the time to do it all the right way. I just do it the way I want to do it, okay? And this is how I've chosen to record. So here we are. So yeah, like I said, these are just a lot of the coloring pages I've done. I've already talked about a lot of these. And then, oh, the toadette. So I did realize after I made that video, I did forget to add the yellow and blue sprinkles on her hat. But fun fact, I'm going to be cosplaying the soft serve toadette in December of this year. So this Saturday, I'm actually going with my friends to a fabric store to pick out all the materials that I'm going to make the costume out of. And I've been practicing sewing, and I'm really proud of the progress that I've made so far. I made a couple of t-shirts from scratch, and the material that I used for those t-shirts, it's not like the best for t-shirts. It doesn't have any stretch. So we're gonna try to find a fabric that's better for what I need it for. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. So now we're in 2024. So this was the Among Us drawing of Apple and Laura, which were two random people that I met while playing Among Us, and we kind of teamed up and had a really fun time. And I wanted to draw them, and they ended up finding the YouTube video and commenting on it, and that was really exciting. So yeah, I haven't played Among Us since drawing this, but that was probably the funnest I ever had while playing the game, was with these two individuals. So this was a fantasy piece that I made. I am not happy with the anatomy of this girl. I was trying to focus on the color palette. I was trying to focus on making it whimsical, and I was just loosely drawing, and I'm just not happy with how it turned out. This one could be way better. Maybe down the road, it might be a fun challenge to do a redraw of this one and see if I can improve it. This was a rough sketch of the painting that me and my friend Cece did for the downtown balloon festival, where we had a big giant wooden canvas that we painted on together. And she has it at her house right now. Like, we bought it, because they were going to auction it off, but we ended up just outright buying it, and so Cece has it. And I mean, it is huge, and it made me happy that she has it. You know what I mean? I was wanting one of us to take that thing home, because we worked really, really hard on it. And I don't know, let me see real quick if I have the picture. I don't have the picture. Dang, I was hoping that maybe I would have it on my computer, but that's okay. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to click on that. Dang it. Well, this video isn't going very well already. Open the Medibang file. All right, so this is the next one on the list. This was just kind of random. I think I was talking about like, oh yeah, that's right. I was talking about breaking free of like past trauma and stuff. And I did like a random little doodle to kind of correlate with that story. Yeah. Okay, it's all coming to me now. This one was also very loosely done. Could have been better, but I wasn't really focused on trying to make it perfect. I just was drawing to express myself. And sometimes that's all art is, you know. This is a drawing I did of a Deku Scrub mask from Majora's Mask, and I had it tattooed on my arm. Here we go. And I've been considering like adding to it, like maybe I should do some of the other masks, or maybe I'll do a whole Deku Scrub sleeve. I really like the Deku Scrubs in the Zelda games. They're one of my favorite races. They're really cute. And then we have the Wizard Duck. This was adorable. And I really like how the staff turned out. I love how I was able to do the petals. The face is cute. Could it have been better? Probably. And then I struggled with the background again. But, you know, it is what it is. And then here we have some of the worksheets that I made for the students when I was a teacher for the brief time that I was. I put a lot of like effort into these, and I wanted them to be fun and quirky, and I wanted the kids to find them relatable. I don't know if any of them actually ever really appreciated any of the things I did like that for them, but I like it, you know, and at least I know that I tried to do personalized stuff, you know. And we have the spider on the mushroom. I really like how the little webbing turned out in this one. And I tried to make the colors bold, you know, and fun. But yeah, this one's cute. This was just a little doodle from when I was playing a lot of Banjo-Kazooie at the time. And then, of course, we have the Give for God art challenge. I found after watching my video back later that while it was very heartfelt and sentimental, I couldn't stand the singing. Like, I tried to sing a Christian song, and I really, really suck at singing. It's so bad. So I was embarrassed, and I ended up deleting the video. So the video is no longer on my YouTube. And, you know, I tend to do that a lot, where I'll go back and delete videos that I don't like anymore on my channel. So sometimes that happens. Then we have the little Zelda race that I created, the Crocora. I do not like how I wasn't able to get the perspective right on the back of the scaling, because he's turning his head. This shouldn't even be visible right here. It should look more like this down here. And I did not translate that well in the art piece. However, the design itself, I do really like, and I think it turned out good. It's just a little critiquing there could have been better. And then we have the digital landscape, the like fantasy themed landscape with the twisty tree and the goofy looking rocks. It's okay. It's just okay. We have a Lazarus, my boy, my beautiful walrus baby. Look at all the details. So beautiful. I love this piece. This is one of my top faves. that I've ever done. And then I just zoned out while I was drawing this thing. I had such a fun time with it. I want to be able to achieve that level of greatness again. That would be great. And then we have the Llamas for Your Mama digital signs that I made for David House Jewelry. There's a couple of them. I didn't end up sending him this one, but I do really I like this. I thought that was really like clever. And we have the Mayfly. Um, I think I did the bug very well. And because I struggle with backgrounds, like I really tried to make a background for this one. And I was using some like Gaussian blur techniques to try to give it that depth of field, you know. I think it turned out okay. And then this was the signature that I made to go on the 1000 Art Collab prints. I originally sent him the color one, and 1000 emailed me back and was like, hey, can I just get a black and white version since all the other signatures are in black? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I just took the color out and gave him that one. This was a t-shirt design that I made. I wanted to have it printed, but I just never got around to it. But I think it looks really cool. Here's another poster for the students. I think this was the very first poster that I made for them. And then this was a a Photoshop piece that I made. I actually made it in Medibang, but it was to show them for the project we were doing video game themed scenes, and I wanted them to find video game characters from different games and a background, and they had to have a health bar and a magic bar as well, and I wanted them to create a scene. Oh, that's the last one. So now we're going to go into 2023. So y'all remember when I did the urn, the Aries Cat of War urn? This was the digital sketch, the rough draft that I made for that urn. And then I printed it and used the graphite paper to trace it onto the urn. And then I traditionally painted the piece for the client. This was a fan art I made for Play with Moxie on YouTube. And then we have a little teddy bear. I want to say I made this for a YouTuber too. She was, gosh, and now it's been a few years and I can't remember her name anymore. But she's such a kind, sweet lady, and she did like arts and crafts and stuff. And she hasn't posted a video in a really long time because her husband had gotten sick and she had to sell a lot of her art supplies to try to save up money for the medical bills. And I remember all that, and I can't remember her name. But I really liked her. This was a little fun art collab I did with Knuckle Sandwich, where we were taking turns drawing on the canvas. And it was a lot of fun. And we had like a long conversation while we were drawing. And I don't remember what any of this stuff means anymore. But we had a really good time. This was when I was attempting to do a digital painting of a Bob Ross painting, where I had to follow along with his video. So yeah, that was really challenging. And then this is my friend's dog, Bougie. This one was really fun. I feel like I did have a video of this and then I took it down, but I don't remember why I took it down. This was an art collab with Guild of the Flying Tortoise, and I was congratulating them on reaching 537 subscribers. I want to say they're in the thousands now, so they are just growing. They're doing great. This was the rough draft I did for that painting I did on the downtown mural. This was a commission piece from my friend Dennis, where he asked me to create this image. He did pay me for it, and then I think he had it laser engraved on like a table or something. And then this was also another collaboration with Dennis where I created the line art and then he had it laser engraved on a plank of wood for one of his friends' birthdays. Birthdays? Or was it a retirement gift? I don't remember. I don't remember the detail. He actually reached out to me recently and asked if we could do another collab. And I was like, sure, let's do it. So I need to get to work on that. This is an unfinished piece of a D&D character for a friend of mine. This is her D&D character, and I never got around to finishing it. And then we've got the painting of the horse and the chicken. I think this one turned out pretty good. I like it. And then this was another Gina Tollefson challenge of drawing your favorite fish. And I went with some of my favorite aquatic creatures from some video games that I like. This is the painting I did for my grandma for Christmas a few years ago. And then we have a coloring page for David House Jory for his Grinchmas. I think the dog turned out really cute in this one. And I also like the tree. The Grinch is okay, but everyone likes to tell me he looks like a bird. And that bothers me. So, you know. And then this was the thumbnail I made for the video on my YouTube channel, which I think it turned out pretty good. I don't normally make thumbnails. This is a drawing I did of my husband for a Yeti cup that I had printed for him for his birthday. And then we have the original art. And then this is my D&D character, Magna Carta. And this is another one of my favorite drawings. I think she's just so beautiful. Her face is stunning. And she turned out really, really good. And I'm really proud of it. And then we have the line art of it. This was an art collab I did with my friend Logo, and he drew the Piata girl, and I did the Mario character and then the background stuff. And this one was really fun too. This was a Mimic You piece I did for my daughter's friend's birthday, and she really, really liked it. And I was really happy that I could make her happy. This is a Nebula Gray, and I wanted it to look like he was just having a relaxed Saturday morning with his hair in a bun, and he was just doodling. So this was a piece, it was like a challenge from Knuckles Sandwich, where he challenged me to do something Silent Hill themed, and I mashed it with Animal Crossing. So this is what I came up with, and it's really fun, and I love it. So this is my Pokemon Spa Day piece, and this took forever to draw and color. And then I remember when I posted it on Switch Up's Discord, that one guy, Jagger, was gaslighting me. He was talking about like, now get a pencil and draw it. Now get a pencil. Shut up. Like I didn't hand draw this with the pen on my tablet, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. It's drawn. It's not like that just pisses me off really when people act like that. Like digital art isn't real art. We draw these things, you know. Takes time and effort and energy. So this is Sean when he saw Luke's Tumblr, he wanted one. So this was the drawing I did for his Tumblr, and this was the original art piece where I made it for his Christmas present. And this is another one of my favorites. I'm really proud of all the details I was able to add to this piece, and I think that I really nailed the anatomy well. So like this one took quite a bit of time, and I'm really, really proud of it. And then that's the line art for it. And then this was a challenge from Dina Tellefson. The theme was Solitude. This was an art collab with Gilda the Flying Tortoise. This was a Dina Tellefson challenge, and the theme was Trapped, where I drew the old man passing away and his spirit being trapped in the firmament. And then we have Thick Impa from back in the day, old school Impa. And then we have the Tinkaton with the Shanti mashup, and I'm really proud of how the hammer turned out. I think that looks really, really good, and that's my favorite part of this whole piece is that hammer. This was another Dina Tellefson challenge, and the theme was Your Favorite Bird. And of course, my favorite bird is a toucan. This was a fan art of my friend Logo's OC, Valentina, and I tried to draw her in 3 different art styles. And then we have an older Zelda character, but I gave her a unique dress. I wanted to model her dress after the Silent Princess flower from Breath of the Wild. And I think this one turned out really, really good. I'm really proud of it. I did struggle with her face in this one, and I also struggled with her hand right here. But other than that, I think it turned out really good. And then that is the end of 2023. So now we have 2022. So this is another D&D character of mine. And we're starting to see, like, you know, I know we're going backwards, but like, I can really tell like how much I've grown over the years. And even just looking at this piece compared to Magna Carta, worlds different. And while I'm proud of this piece, I'm really proud of my growth as well. So here we have Stitch. I drew this for JT Music Box. And then this was a drawing for Eclipse Star of Arceus and Altaria. This one was a challenge from Gilda the Flying Tortoise, where they gave me a random little shape and I had to turn it into a picture. So I made it into a beta fish. Here we have another Zelda piece, and this one's really fun. I really like the color palette in this one. This one was a challenge from 1000 where he gave us a description of a Chirin, and we had to try to draw it. And this was the moment where I started exploring more fun shapes and more dynamic characters and poses, and I was trying to get away from being too stiff. This was a personal challenge where I took a cowgirl and a kawaii theme and I blended them together. Also, that's not a hippo, that's a cow. This was a fan art for Crossing Minute of some of Dan's characters from the games that he plays. I had a lot of fun making this one. We have a ghost. Ghost and Goblins. I loved making this one. It took a little bit of time, but these are probably the best hands that I've ever drawn, and I'm really proud of how they turned out. So this one was when I was chatting with my friend gaming my whole life. His name is George, and he's on YouTube, and he was talking about the Are You Okay game, and we had a little conversation about, like, you know, whenever you get trapped in a horror game and you feel like, well, I just live here now. Well, in my art piece, the character just lives here now, and he made a whole fort out of furniture, and this took a couple of days. I did a couple of live streams on this one. It took a while. I was on those tables for a hot minute. So this was a commission for a little boy's birthday, and this drawing ended up getting printed on a t-shirt for him. And then we have a little lizard and a little gecko car. And then a self-portrait. This was a mermaid challenge from Gilda the Flying Tortoise. And then we have the Moon Girl. And while I'm not a fan of the Moon Girl, I am a fan of some of the little details that I was adding in the background and stuff. And even though the background's pretty flat, I still like how I was trying to go out of my comfort zone with this one. So this is the best, hands down, like realism piece that I've ever done. Look at that baby. Oh my gosh. And then the sheer sleeve that's kind of see-through. I'm really proud of how that turned out. And this woman's face is so soft and loving. I'm just so proud of this whole piece. This was another art challenge. It was Pokemon themed, and we had to try to turn the Pokemon into people. This was a challenge from my friend Jen where she sent me her OC and I had to try to draw it in my art style. And I actually like this one a whole lot. There are just little bits about this that I enjoy. This was for that t-shirt contest for the Hot Air Balloon Festival in town. I did not win. This is a fan art for Willie Muse on YouTube. And that ends 2022. And the very last one is my very first digital art piece from 2019. I hand drew this, lined it with Sharpie, took a picture of it with my phone, pulled it into Photoshop, and then I hand colored and hand lined everything with a mouse. This was before I got a tablet, and I'm really proud of it. Like, this is where I started in my digital art journey, you know? And yeah, and this piece was made for Bella, who is, y'all know Switch Up on YouTube, Mark and Glenn. Bella is Mark's daughter, and at the time she had a severe staph infection and was hospitalized. So I drew this for her to try to cheer her up while she was in the hospital. And he said that she really liked it and it made her happy. So that made me happy. So anyway, that's the end of the digital art journey, the digital art tour. I hope you guys enjoyed this walk through the past as much as I did. And just remember, as you're going through your personal art journey, there is growth. And don't forget to go back and look at your older stuff so you can see how much you've grown, okay? And I'll see you on the next video. Y'all have a great night. I love you guys. Goodbye.